Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome to biology class. In biology class 8, today we have to start our chapter number 4, that is cell and tissue. And today we have to start our topic of cell wall. That what is cell wall? After studying the topic, you will be able to give the answer of that what is cell wall, what is the function of cell wall, and from where the cell wall is present, and how cell wall are different from organism to organism, and what is the basic structure and function of cell wall. So first of all, we have to move towards the discovery that cell wall was first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665, and he take the plant cell and observe for the first time he discovered the plant cell wall. Basically, he gave the description of the plant cell wall, that plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. In this picture, you have to see about the clear picture of cellulose. That what is cellulose? Cellulose is a molecule of a polysaccharides. And what are molecules? Many atoms are combined to form a molecules. So from here, the molecules of polysaccharides. What does it mean? That poly means many, saccharides means sugar, the sugar of carbohydrate. So cellulose is made up of sugars and many sugars of carbohydrate. It is one of the most abundant carbohydrate, and it is also used in our daily life, such as it is used to making clothes, cottons, papers, etc. After that, we have to study about the five kingdoms, that is kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, and kingdom Plantae. These four kingdoms, their big cells consist of a cell wall, and their cell wall are different from each other. So the plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, that is a polysaccharide. After that, you have to see this picture on the screen, that is the bacteria cell wall. From here, in the bacteria cell wall, the outer layer, you have to observe that we have the two layers, and these two layers, that is the murine actually, that the bacteria cell wall is made up of murine. And what is murine? Murine is a peptidoglycan. And what is peptidoglycan? That means that amino acid is combined to sugars, that is the sugar of carbohydrate, and they form a peptidoglycan. And what is amine? That is the shortest molecule of a proteins. We have to study about that proteins is further divided into amino acid. So amino acid is added with the sugar of carbohydrate and they form a polysaccharide. And in kingdom Monera, all bacteria have cell wall except Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma do not have a cell wall. So it's a typical cell wall structure of bacteria. The next cell wall is kingdom Fungi. So in fungal cell wall, we have to study about in kingdoms that kingdom Fungi cell wall is made up of chitin. So what is chitin? Chitin is also a polysaccharide, but they have some additional nitrogenous compounds. So they can be show the difference. The nitrogenous compounds can show the difference between the cell wall of the plant, cell wall of bacteria, and cell wall of fungi. So these cell wall are different from each other on the basis of their specific structures. After that, we have move towards the cell wall basic structure, that what is the layers of cell wall. So basically cell wall have three layers: the middle lamina, the primary cell wall, and the secondary cell wall. So in this picture you have to see the outermost layer is called the primary wall. From here in this picture you have to see that the outer boundary is called the primary wall, and it is made up of hemocellulose. What is hemocellulose? Hemocellulose is a simple arrangement of carbohydrate and the pectin. So it is made up of cellulose and hemocellulose, that is the simplest arrangement of carbohydrate. In the two cells between there is a middle lamina. So from in labeling you have to see that there is a different smaller space between the two cells, the middle lamina. So from here, the middle lamina consists of a pectin. So what is pectin? It is a region that they can bind the two cells, and pectin is a special sticky type substance. They have a sticky nature from where they can join the two cells, and pectin is used to make jelly and jams in our daily life. So it also play one of the most important role in the cell wall. After that, you have a next in this picture you have to see about the hemocellulose, that it is a simplest form of sugar, and the pectin in the middle lamina, the primary cell wall and the cell membrane. So from here the diagram, the labeling will be clear to you. Okay, pectin is a chemical substance, a sticky substance which is present between the two laminas and that help to attach both of the cells from each other. After that, we have the next type, that is the secondary cell wall. So secondary cell wall is basically present in a woody plants inside a primary wall is called secondary wall. So from secondary wall you have to see in a labeling that from here we have the secondary wall, and secondary wall is present in the inner region of the primary wall, and it is a thick layer of primary wall. Basically, secondary wall composed of cellulose, hemocellulose, pectin, and lignin. Lignin is one of the component which is absent in the remaining parts, the middle lamina and the primary cell wall. But in secondary cell wall, you have to see that the difference between that their composition, they consist of cellulose, hemocellulose, pectin, and lignin. So, due to the presence of lignin, they are different from the remaining two layers, and it is mostly present in woody plants. After that, lignin is the second most abundant a substance which is present in the woody stems of secondary cell wall. Okay, after that you have to see in the picture that in this layer formed between the primary wall cell wall and some of the plant cells. So from here secondary cell wall is a thick layer and it is present in the inner of the primary wall, and it is a rigid layer. That means that they are very tight and they can support and strengthen the cell, and the additional cellulose and the hemocellulose. Some secondary cell wall contain lignin. So, what is the function of lignin? That lignin strengthen the cell wall. So, you have to study about the secondary cell wall. That what is secondary cell wall? Secondary cell wall is a present in woody plants, and it is inside the primary cell wall is called secondary cell wall. It is a thick layer and mostly it composed of cellulose, hemocellulose, pectin, and lignin, and due to the lignin they will strengthen and strong the stem more. After that we have moved towards the last topic, that is the function of cell. So first of all, what is the basic function of cell? That cell help in support. You have to see that in human body we have a bone structure, we have a skeleton structure, and this skeleton structure help us to support, we help us in a movement. So from here the plant, first of all, that they help into the support, they protect the plant, the cell wall of the plant helped in the protection. For example, which type of protection? That it provide protection from the viral, bacterial, fungal, and pathogens. That any pathogens you have to study about the microorganisms, that we have some pathogenic microorganisms which are attack on the living body, and especially a virus, that they are always cause diseasing. So from here they get host and they will start replication. So from here the cell wall also help in the protection, to protect the cell from the any type of injury to any type of pathogenic bacteria or any type of pathogenic virus. So it also help in the protection. Next one is that it work in communication. That means that cell wall is also help to communicate the two cells, and the whole cell transport their components to the another cell. For example, xylem cells, that we have a xylem cells in the plant. So in xylem cells, what will be happening, that they will transfer their water content from one cell into another cell. So they are also help in the communication, and there is a small space between the two cells which are interconnected to each other, and these small space are called plasmodesmata, and this plasmodesmata help to connect the two cells. After that, it also help in triggerity. What is the trigger pressure? That means that inside the plant cell you have to see that we have a vacuole, a large size of vacuole. So if the sometime due to the osmotic pressure the vacuole will be burst, so from here it help to reduce the trigger pressure or maintain the trigger pressure, that they withstand the trigger pressure which develop within the cell due to high osmotic pressure. After that, it involves in the transportation of material metabolic in our cell. That means that it will transport the material. So we have to study about the different functions of cell wall. That cell wall help in support, cell wall help in protection, cell wall help in communication, cell wall help in transportation. Cell wall also help in a trigger pressure. Okay, I hope you will be learn about these questions. So okay, thank you class.